Hello, my name is Tim Lahili. In this video, we're going to be talking about label and issue permissions. Let's hop straight into Quincy and do just that. Okay, so I've logged into a case, the demo case, and I'm going to open up filters, and we've got some labels and some issues here. As an administrator, I can see everything in the case. I can see all the labels and all the issues and all that kind of stuff. But generally, other users, depending on their permissions, some permissions grant them access to everything. But if they don't have access to everything, they won't be able to see any of these. They won't be able to see any labels, any issues, anything until they're explicitly granted permission. The way you grant permission is you simply right-click on a label or an issue. Do not go to this permissions. That's something entirely different. This is for the restricted viewer. Come instead here to label/issues, and you go down here to permissions. When you click on that, it will open up this menu, which shows you're talking about the Federal Test 1 label. And it shows you all the users that have access to this case and any groups that have access to this case. And then it offers you to include child tags. This is an end label, if you will. It has no child, so that's not relevant here. But if I wanted to give this guy access, let's say I wanted Bob to be able to see this label, I just go ahead, click there, and click Save. It's going to update those permissions, and now Bob is going to have access to that label. And I believe, if my memory serves me right, we were on the Fed Test 11. So let's right-click on that again and check permissions. And there you go. Bob has access to that. Now, you can make yourself life a lot easier because you probably don't want to go through all of these and give them permissions. Instead, do it by folders. Create parent folders. And then if you want to grant rights to all the sublabels, you see there are quite a few sublabels here. You can right-click on this and do permissions. And then you're going to include child tags. And let's again do Bob. And then do Save. And it will iterate through all the children tags, and it will assign them to the Bob user. So now when Bob logs into this case, he should be able to see all this stuff. So let's go ahead and log out and log in as Bob. I'm going to skip the logging in, logging out process. So we'll just sort of do BAM, WebEx, and we'll be in as Bob. So let me do that. Okay, again, by the magic of WebEx or whatever it is, Camtasia here, we've logged in as Bob. Let's log into our demo case. And open up our tags and with labels, and we see we got the whole image recognition folder. We have the federal test, and I gather he already had one additional label. So that's how we do permissions. I think he only has one issue instead of all the other issues. Of course, we could go assign him issues. It's the same basic mechanism. But that's how you do it. It's that simple. Now I'm going to log back in as the administrator to show you one other way to assign labels anyway, and then we'll end it. Okay, log back in as administrator. This time I'm going to come into the admin widget, come to configure, and go to labels. Now let's select a case. Let's select our demo case. This is a giant grid of all the permissions that various users have access to. You can see Bob got access to image recognition and all those, and you can see who has access to what. This is only true for labels. You don't have this for issues. But it is a good way to go ahead and give lots of people access to lots of things all at once. So you can click on any of these. You can click right here, and it gives it across the board. Like if you want everybody to have access to that, and then you could just go ahead and save. It's one way to grant access other than through the facets, through the filter widget. So I just wanted to show you that. You just click save and it would save, and it works easy peasy. So those are the two ways to deal with issues and label permissions. Let me reemphasize that if you set up anything, if you set up labels and issues in a coding panel or whatever, and your users log in and they can't see those labels and issues, check permissions first. It's almost always the problem. They don't have the rights to those labels or issues, and therefore they can't see them. Anyway, that was all I wanted to present. Hopefully that was helpful, and thank you very much for your time.